Picture this: a world without power cords, where electricity flows through the air, charging your phone, your car, your entire home completely wirelessly. It sounds like science fiction, right? Well, over a century ago, one brilliant mind was on the verge of making it a reality. That man was Nikola Tesla, and his grand vision was embodied in a mysterious, magnificent structure known as the Wardenclyffe Tower. Today, we're diving deep into the history of this incredible project and uncovering the real reasons why Tesla's dream of free, wireless energy for all came crashing down. This isn't just a story about a failed invention. It's a tale of genius, ambition, and the harsh realities of a world not quite ready for the future. Let's travel back to the dawn of the 20th century. The world was buzzing with new inventions. The air crackled with the promise of an electrical age. At the center of this revolution was Nikola Tesla, a man whose mind operated on a different frequency from everyone else. He had already given the world alternating current, or AC, the system that powers our homes to this day. But Tesla wasn't satisfied. He had a much bigger, more audacious goal: to transmit not just information, but electrical power itself across the globe without a single wire. To achieve this, he envisioned the Wardenclyffe Tower. Located in Shoreham, Long Island, New York, this wasn't just any radio tower. It was a colossal structure, standing 187 feet tall, with a huge 68-foot diameter copper dome on top. Below ground, a complex system of iron pipes was driven 300 feet deep into the earth. Tesla believed he could use the earth itself as a massive electrical conductor. His plan was to pump extremely high-frequency electrical energy into the ground and the upper atmosphere. Smaller receiving stations, even handheld devices, could then tap into this energy field anywhere on the planet. Think of it like a global Wi-Fi network, but for power. It was a concept so far ahead of its time, it was almost magical. So how did he plan to fund this planetary-scale project? He turned to one of the most powerful men in America, the financier J.P. Morgan. Tesla initially pitched Wardenclyffe as a global wireless communications system, a way to send messages, stock quotes, and even images across the Atlantic, competing with Guglielmo Marconi's recent successes in transatlantic radio signals. Morgan, seeing the immense financial potential in controlling global communication, agreed to invest $150,000, which is over $5 million in today's money. With funding secured, construction began in 1901, and the magnificent tower started to rise from the Long Island soil. Tesla poured his heart, soul, and every ounce of his genius into the project. He moved his lab to the site and worked tirelessly, convinced he was on the brink of changing the world forever. But here's where the story takes a turn. Tesla's vision was always bigger than just sending messages. Wireless communication was just the first step, the proof of concept. His true goal, his ultimate endgame, was wireless power transmission. He believed that once the tower was operational, he could demonstrate the ability to light up lamps miles away without any physical connection. The problem was, he hadn't been entirely upfront about this with his primary investor. J.P. Morgan was a businessman. He invested in things he could control, meter, and profit from. The idea of broadcasting free energy to the world was commercial suicide. How do you put a meter on the air itself? As construction progressed, costs soared far beyond the initial budget. Tesla, ever the perfectionist, was constantly making design improvements, which required more money. He went back to Morgan, hat in hand, requesting additional funds. But by this time, Marconi had successfully sent the letter S across the Atlantic, using a much simpler, cheaper system. From Morgan's perspective, the race for wireless communication had already been won by a competitor, and Tesla's project looked like an increasingly expensive and risky gamble. Then came the crucial conversation. Tesla, in a desperate bid to secure more funding, finally revealed the full scope of his plan to Morgan. He didn't just want to send signals, he wanted to send power. This was the final nail in the coffin. Morgan was horrified. The idea of an unmeasurable, uncontrollable energy source available to anyone with a receiver was the exact opposite of his business model. It was disruptive in the most unprofitable way imaginable. Morgan refused to provide another cent. He had invested in a radio telegraph, not a global utility that threatened to upend the entire energy industry. he was heavily invested in. Without Morgan's backing, Tesla's financial lifeline was cut. He desperately sought other investors, but the panic of 1907, a severe financial crisis, dried up all available capital. No one was willing to bet on such a radical, unproven concept. Especially without the endorsement of a titan like J.P. Morgan. The world saw a half-finished tower, while Marconi was celebrated for his practical achievements. Tesla's reputation took a severe hit. He was increasingly seen as a dreamer, a mad scientist, rather than the practical genius who had developed the AC system. The majestic Wardenclyffe Tower, a symbol of a brilliant future, stood silent. For years, it remained a lonely landmark on the Long Island landscape. Weeds grew around its base, and the once gleaming copper dome tarnished. Tesla, having sunk all his own money into the project, was financially ruined. He suffered a nervous breakdown, his spirit crushed by the failure of his greatest dream. The tower, his magnificent obsession, was now a constant, painful reminder of what could have been. He was forced to sell the property to cover his mounting debts at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. The final heartbreaking chapter for the tower came during World War I in 1917. The U.S. government, fearing that German spies could use the towering structure as a landmark for submarines or even as a radio transmitter, ordered its demolition. The tower was dynamited, its steel frame sold for scrap. The explosive charges that brought it down were a deafening final blow to Tesla's wireless world. The dream was officially over, reduced to a pile of twisted metal. All that remained were the foundations and the deep, mysterious tunnels beneath the ground. So what's the legacy of Wardenclyffe? Was it a colossal failure, or a vision that was simply born too soon? In many ways, Tesla was proven right. We now live in a world of wireless communication that he foresaw. We use resonant induction, a principle he experimented with, to charge our phones and toothbrushes wirelessly. Scientists are still exploring the possibilities of long-range wireless power transmission, facing many of the same challenges Tesla did. The Wardenclyffe Tower wasn't just a technical project, it was a philosophical one. It represented a future where energy could be abundant and accessible to all. A stark contrast to the centralized, profit-driven systems that dominated then and still do today. The story of Wardenclyffe is a powerful lesson. It teaches us that technological progress isn't just about brilliant ideas. It's also about timing, economics, and politics. Tesla had the genius, but he lacked the business acumen and the political savvy to navigate the world of finance and power. His dream was too big, too radical, and too generous for the era he lived in. But the dream itself never truly died. It lives on in every wireless device we use and in the ongoing quest to unlock the secrets of wireless energy. The silent, forgotten tower of Wardenclyffe stands as a testament to the man who dared to dream of powering the world. A man who truly was ahead of his time. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think? Could Tesla's wireless world have worked? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.